Tony Stark stands in his Malibu workshop at 3 a.m., staring at readings that make no sense. An energy signature pulses from a pocket dimension, massive, ancient, and dying. Jarvis calculates 60 million souls, trapped in a collapsing reality where gods war and order crumbles. Tony calibrates the Mark 51 armor for dimensional breach. Knowing the arc reactor will burn hotter in foreign physics, he triggers the jump. Act 1. The sky above Limgrave tears open like burning paper. A red and gold comet screams through the wound, trailing fire and ozone. It slams into the hillside near the gatefront ruins with force that shakes the earth. Tarnished soldiers dive for cover, horses scream and bolt. The impact crater glows with blue-white light that has no place in this world of grace and ruin. Tony Stark stands, armor smoking, HUD flickering with error messages. Yeah, tastes wrong, thick, old, like breathing in a crypt. Jarvis speaks in his ear, voice distorted. Sir, dimensional physics are incompatible. Arc reactor efficiency down to 62%. Atmosphere contains trace amounts of death. Tony scans the landscape. A massive golden tree dominates the eastern horizon, so large it bends perspective. Ruins dot rolling hills. In the distance, a castle fortress rises against storm clouds. Everything looks medieval, broken, and somehow alive with invisible weight. A group of soldiers approaches cautiously, weapons drawn. They wear patchwork armor, mismatched shields. Their eyes are hollow, weary. These are people who have died and returned too many times. The leader, a woman with a cracked helm, stops 20 feet away. What are you? Her voice is rough. Another omen? Another curse from the outer gods? Tony raises his hands, palms forward, the repulsors power down visibly. I'm here to help. That energy signature, your world is collapsing. I have technology that can... Technology. An old man pushes through the crowd. He wears golden robes marked with tree symbols. His eyes are milk white, but they see something. The Golden Order permits no heresy. The greater will alone grants power. You are an abomination. Tony's jaw tightens. I'm an engineer, and whatever is killing your world doesn't care about your order. A horn blast cuts through the tension. 3 riders thunder over the hill. They wear full plate armor that gleams within a light. Holy knights! Their horses' eyes glow gold. The lead knight levels a lance that crackles with yellow energy. Tree Sentinel Patrol, the tarnished woman hisses. They will kill you for existing outside grace. The knights charge, and Tony's HUD locks on. Jarvis, combat mode, non-lethal. Sir, I must advise that non-lethal options are limited, given reactor efficiency. Make it work. The first knight closes to 30 feet. Tony fires a repulsor blast at the ground ahead of the horse. Dirt explodes upward in a wall. The horse rears, throwing its rider. The knight hits the ground in 200 pounds of blessed steel. The second knight adjusts, angling wide. Tony takes flight, jets screaming. He rises 15 feet. And immediately his HUD flashes red warnings. The air itself resists. Gravity pulls wrong. He burns twice the normal fuel to stay airborne. The knight hurls the lance. It moves faster than physics should allow. Tony rolls, but the weapon clips his left shoulder. Armor plating cracks. Warning klaxons blare. The lance embeds in the hillside and explodes in a pillar of golden fire. Holy damage type detected, Jarvis reports. Armor composition vulnerable. These weapons bypass conventional defenses. Tony lands hard. The third knight is already on him, sword raised. The blade shines with the same golden light. Tony catches it on his forearm, armor screeching. The edge bites through the first layer of plating. He fires a repulsor point blank into the knight's chest. The blast sends the knight flying backward. The holy warrior crashes through a ruined wall. Tony checks the impact. No blood, but the knight moves slowly, dazed, not dead. The first knight is back on his feet, drawing a greatsword. Tony evaluates. His armor is damaged. Fuel consumption is critical. The arc reactor hums with stress, heat building in his chest. He can win this fight, but he will have to hurt them badly, maybe kill them. The tarnished woman steps between them. Enough! She raises her sword, but not at Tony, at the knights. This stranger saved us from the misbegotten raid yesterday. He fought with honor. If you strike him, you strike through me first. The knight pauses. Behind his golden helm, intelligence calculates. Tony's sensors pick up movement at the gate-front ruins. More soldiers gathering, civilians hiding in doorways. This can end in a bloodbath, or it can end with words. He powers down the repulsors completely, lets his hands fall to his sides. I came here because your world is dying. I don't know your gods, I don't know your grace, but I know physics, and I know energy systems. That tree, he points at the Erd tree, it is leaking power. The dimensional walls are thin. If I can help stop that, I will. If you want to kill me for trying, then do it, but it is a waste. The knight lowers his sword an inch, only an inch. The old priest in golden robes steps forward. The Golden Order has stood for an age. We do not need the heresy of false prophets. Leave or be cleansed. Father Corin, the tarnished woman says, the shattering broke everything. The demigods war endlessly. The Erd tree itself has turned away its blessing. Maybe. Silence, Corin's voice is cold. You are tarnished. You have no voice in holy matters. Tony watches the power dynamic. The priest holds authority, but the soldiers follow the woman. Classic friction. He needs to leverage it. What is your name? Tony asks the woman. Where? Yura, captain of the Gatefront survivors. Yura, I made a promise a long time ago. I will not build weapons for tyrants. I will not let good people die when I can stop it. Your priest says I am heresy. Maybe in his worldview I am, but I have stopped wars. I have saved cities. Let me prove I can help before you decide I am your enemy. Yura studies him. Her eyes are hard, but there is something desperate in them. Hope, maybe, or just exhaustion. The demigod Godric sends his grafted soldiers south every week, she says quietly. They take prisoners, they steal limbs, they add them to Godric's body, making him stronger. We cannot stop them. Can you? Tony looks at his HUD. Reactor at 58%. Armor damage in 3 places. He should retreat, regroup, study the enemies. But 60 million souls are dying in this world, and he did not come here to hide. When do they arrive? Tomorrow, dawn. Tony nods. Then we have time to prepare. Jarvis, start analyzing the local energy signatures. I need to understand how their magic interacts with our tech. Father Corin steps forward, fury in his blind eyes. You will doom us all, tarnished. The Golden Order will not forget this blasphemy. He turns and walks away, robes trailing in the dust. The tree sentinel knights withdraw slowly, never turning their backs. One of them speaks, voice echoing in his helm. The 2 fingers will hear of this. The order will be restored. When they are gone, Yura exhales. You have made powerful enemies. Story of my life. Tony surveys the ruins. I need a workshop, somewhere I can work, and I need information. Everything you know about Godric's forces. Yura gestures to the gate front. We have a chapel. It is defensible. The forge still works. Tony walks towards the ruins, HUD tagging civilians, structural weaknesses, strategic positions. The people watch him with fear and fascination. He has seen that look before. After New York, after Sokovia, the look that says, are you here to save us or destroy us? He does not know yet. The arc reactor pulses in his chest, hotter than normal. Jarvis runs diagnostics in the background. The dimensional breach is taking a toll. Every second in this world, the reactor works harder to maintain stability. It is like running a nuclear plant in an environment hostile to physics itself. Tony reaches the chapel. It is small, stone with a broken altar. Scorch marks on the walls tell stories of battles fought and lost. Yura lights torches. Other soldiers filter in, weapons ready but not hostile. Tell me about Godric, Tony says. Yura sits on a broken pew. He is a demigod, descendant of Queen Marika. In the shattering he took a great rune, a fragment of the Elden Ring itself. It gave him power beyond measure. But he was weak among demigods, so he began grafting, stealing the limbs and heads of warriors, adding them to his own body. Now he is a thing of nightmares. Dozens of arms, dragon heads grafted to his flesh. He rules Stormvale Castle and sends his soldiers to take more victims. Tony's HUD records everything. How many soldiers? Tomorrow, maybe 40, grafted warriors. Each one has multiple arms, some with blades, some with shields. They do not feel pain. They do not stop until you destroy them completely. Weaknesses. Yura hesitates. Fire works better than blades. They fear it, but we have no mages, no sorcerers, just steel and will. Tony pulls up his suit's weapons systems. I have fire, and I have something better, precision. He works through the night. Jarvis catalogues the local environment. Gravity is normal, but there are invisible currents. Grace, the locals call it. It flows from the Erd tree, branching out like roots. Where grace touches, the dead return. The tarnished cannot truly die. They resurrect at sites of grace, marked by golden light. But grace has rules. Father Corin's fear is not irrational. The Golden Order is not just religion, it is physics here. Magic, faith, sorcery, they are our forces with laws and consequences. Tony's technology disrupts those laws. He is an equation that does not balance. The arc reactor consumes palladium faster than it should. Tony runs the numbers. At this rate, he has maybe 2 weeks before the core destabilizes. He needs to either solve the dimensional breach or find a way home before the reactor kills him. Dawn breaks cold and red. Yura's scouts return. Godric's forces are an hour out, more than we thought. 60 soldiers and something else, something big. Tony stands in the courtyard, armor gleaming in the pale light. He has spent the night building. 3 automated turrets now guard the gatefront's flanks. He has mined the approach with micro-explosives, not enough to kill, but enough to disrupt formations. The soldiers of Gatefront gather behind him, 30 fighters, weary, under-equipped, but standing. Here is the plan, Tony says. I draw their attention. I hit them hard and fast. While they focus on me, you flank from the ruins. Target the commanders. Cut off the head. Yura shakes her head. They will tear you apart. They will try. The enemy appears on the horizon. 60 grafted soldiers march in formation. They are grotesque. Each warrior has 4, 5, 6 arms sprouting from their torsos. Some arms hold swords, some hold shields, some end in claws. Their faces are twisted, mouths sewn shut. They move with unnatural coordination. Behind them, something massive moves through the morning mist. A grafted beast, 20 feet tall. Its body is a patchwork of animal parts, bare limbs, lion heads, dragon scales. Weapons sprout from its flesh like tumors. It roars, and the sound shakes the ground. Tony's reactor spikes. Jarvis, threat assessment. Sir, that creature registers magic signatures beyond conventional parameters. Recommend extreme caution. Noted. Tony launches. The jets scream. He rises 30 feet. And this time he does not fight the gravity currents. He lets them guide him, surfing the invisible flows. It is like flying through water, harder, slower, but possible. He fires a missile. It streaks toward the grafted formation and explodes in a bloom of fire. 5 soldiers vaporize, 10 more scatter, burning. The formation breaks. Tony dives, repulsors blazing. He targets the commanders, soldiers with golden patches on their armor. He fires precision blasts. 1, 2, 3 commanders drop, armor shattered. The grafted beast charges. It moves faster than something that size should. Tony banks hard. The beast leaps, claws extended. It reaches 30 feet into the air. 1 claw catches Tony's leg. Metal screams. The beast's strength is immense. It drags Tony down. He hits the ground. The beast is on him, a mountain of flesh and fury. 6 mouths roar. Tony fires both repulsors into its chest. The blast tears through flesh. The beast staggers. Tony rolls clear and launches again, but the beast's wounds close, not instantly, but too fast. Magic or great rune power knits muscle and bone. Regeneration detected, Jarvis reports. Conventional damage insufficient. Tony switches to the unibeam. The arc reactor feeds power into his chest emitter. The beam lances out, white hot. It burns through the beast's torso. The creature screams. The smell of burning meat fills the air. The grafted soldiers regroup. They charge the gate front from 3 sides. Yura leads her fighters from the ruins. Steel clashes. Men and women die. The grafted do not fall easily. Each one takes multiple wounds before it stops moving. Tony cannot help them yet. The beast regenerates again. He fires the unibeam a second time. The reactor temperature spikes to dangerous levels. Warnings flood his HUD. He is burning through power too fast. The beam cuts the beast in half. It falls, does not rise, and Tony lands, reactor screaming in his chest. Heat radiates through the armor. He can feel it against his skin. Jarvis reports critical temperature levels. The reactor is at 48% efficiency and dropping. He turns to the battle. Yora's forces are being pushed back. The grafted soldiers fight with mechanical precision. No fear, no hesitation. Tony fires repulsor blasts into their flanks. Carefully, precisely. He cannot afford to hit Yora's people. The automated turrets activate. They track targets and fire. Micro-explosives detonate under grafted feet. Soldiers stumble, fall. Yora's fighters press the advantage. Tony moves through the battlefield like a scalpel. He targets weak points, joints, necks, places where even grafted flesh cannot regenerate fast enough. He does not waste shots, cannot afford to. The battle turns. The grafted begin to retreat. They drag their wounded. Tony does not pursue. His reactor is at 42%. The heat in his chest is painful now. He lands and powers down non-essential systems. Yora approaches, breathing hard, blood on her sword. You saved us. Tony removes his helmet. Sweat drips down his face. We saved each other. How many did you lose? 7 dead, 12 wounded. Tony closes his eyes. 7 people. He could have been faster, better, but he was not. I am sorry. Do not be. Yora wipes her blade. Without you, we would all be dead or taken. 7 is a small price. Tony does not agree. 7 is never a small price. The survivors gather in the courtyard. They look at Tony with something new, not just fear or curiosity, respect, maybe trust. Father Corin watches from the chapel doorway. His face is stone. A young soldier approaches Tony. She cannot be more than 16. Thank you, she says. My brother was taken last month, grafted onto Godric's body. You stopped them from taking more. Tony nods. He does not know what to say. The girl leaves. Other survivors come. They thank him, touch his armor. One old woman kisses his gauntlet. Tony stands there, uncomfortable, as they make him into something he is not. A savior, a saint. He is just a man in a metal suit. The arc reactor pulses, hotter, angrier. Codex. Note, the arc reactor, stressed by incompatible dimensional physics, now operates at reduced efficiency and elevated core temperature. Each power surge accelerates palladium decay. Act 2. Night falls over the gate front. The survivors tend their wounded. They burn their dead on pyres, the smoke rising black against the stars. Yora speaks words over each body, names, deeds, small remembrances for lives cut short. Tony sits in the chapel, armor open, running diagnostics. The damage is worse than he thought. The shoulder plating needs full replacement. The left boot thruster is compromised, and the arc reactor is consuming palladium at triple the normal rate. Jarvis projects the timeline. 9 days, maybe 10, then the core fails, and Tony dies. Unless he can stabilize the dimensional breach, or find a way home. Yora enters the chapel. She carries 2 wooden cups and a bottle. Drink? What is it? Something that will burn going down and make you forget for a few hours. Tony takes a cup. The liquid is amber, thick. It tastes like fire and regret. He coughs. Yora laughs. It is the first time he has heard her laugh. Tarnished liquor, made from erd-leaf flowers and desperation. They drink in silence for a moment. You fought well today, Yora says, but you are not a soldier. No, I am an engineer. Then why come here? Why risk yourself for people you do not know? Tony looks at the arc reactor glowing in his chest. Because I can and because no one else will. Yora considers this. That is a dangerous philosophy. It will get you killed. Probably. Good. She refills his cup. Only dangerous men can save us now. The door opens. 3 people enter. A knight in silver armor, the crest of carrier on his chest. A woman in blue robes, glintstone staff in hand, and a tarnished in leather, 2 daggers at his belt. And then Yora stands. Captain Aldrich, Sorceress Thea, Scout Miriel, you received my message. Aldrich nods. He is older, maybe 50, with scars crossing his face. We came as soon as we could. The roads are dangerous. Godric's patrols increase every day. He looks at Tony. This is the stranger? Tony Stark, Aldrich of Carrier. I command what remains of the Carrion Knights in Limgrave. He studies Tony's armor. That is no sorcery, no incantation. What is it? Technology, engineering, science. Thea steps forward. She is young, maybe 30, with sharp eyes. Science is just sorcery without glintstone. You manipulate the world. We manipulate the world. The method differs. The result is the same. Tony likes her immediately. Pragmatic, I can work with that. Miriel, the scout, speaks. His voice is quiet. Godric knows about you now. He will send more soldiers, stronger ones, and he will come himself if needed. Let him. Aldrich shakes his head. You do not understand. Godric is a demigod. He holds a great rune. He is stronger than any 10 men, faster. His grafted body has dozens of arms, each wielding a weapon, and he has begun grafting dragon parts to himself. He breathes fire. His scales turn blades. Tony pulls up his HUD. Jarvis, compile all data on demigods and great runes. Jarvis responds. Data insufficient. Local mythological references suggest great runes are fragments of a cosmic artifact known as the Elden Ring, which govern the laws of this reality. When the ring shattered, demigods claimed the fragments, gaining immense power. So they are reality warpers. Aldrich frowns. I do not know those words. They can break the rules, change physics. That is what makes them demigods. Yes, precisely. Tony thinks, reality warpers are the worst enemy. They do not play by consistent rules, but they still have limits. Thanos had limits. Ultron had limits. Even gods bleed if you hit them hard enough. We need a plan, Tony says, not just to survive, to win, to stop Godric permanently. Ura spreads a map on the altar. It shows Limgrave, Stormvale Castle, the roads and ruins. Godric holds the castle. His army numbers in the thousands. Grafted soldiers, banished knights, trolls, even some of the old royal guard who still serve him out of fear. Thea points to the castle. The main gate is impregnable. Ballistas, archers, and Godric's throne room is at the top. You would have to fight through every level. Miriel taps a side path on the map. There is another way, the cliffside path. It is dangerous, exposed, but it bypasses the main army. Tony studies the map. What about air assault? I can fly. Aldrich shakes his head. Stormvale is cursed with winds, unnatural. They will tear you from the sky. Then we go through the front, draw out his army, divide them. Suicide, Ura says flatly. Not if we are smart, Tony points to the approach. We fortify here, create a kill zone, force them to come to us in manageable numbers. I can build defenses, traps, automated weapons. We bleed them over days if we have to. Thea leans forward. And Godric? He will not wait forever. He will come himself. Then I fight him. Silence. Insay. Aldrich speaks carefully. You are brave, but you are not tarnished. You cannot resurrect at sites of grace. If Godric kills you, you are dead, truly dead. Tony knows, he has always known, every fight could be his last. I am aware of the risk. Ura looks at him. Why? Why die for us? Tony thinks of the arc reactor, the shrapnel around his heart, the years of borrowed time. He thinks of New York, of the nuke he rode into space, of every time he put the suit on knowing it might be the last time. Because someone has to. Aldrich nods slowly. Then we will stand with you. But know this, the Golden Order will not allow it. Father Corrin has already sent word to the capital. The Church of the Erdtree sees you as heresy. They will send hunters. Let them come. The War Council continues deep into the night. They plan, they argue. Aldrich wants a defensive strategy. Thea wants to target Godric's supply lines. Miriel suggests assassination. Tony listens, learns. This world has different rules, but war is still war. Logistics, strategy, morale. By dawn, they have a plan. Fortify the gate front. Build defenses. Train the soldiers. And when Godric comes, make him pay for every foot of ground. Tony spends the next 3 days building. He cannibalizes parts from his armor to create weapons, automated turrets with limited ammunition, mines that detonate on pressure, a shield generator powered by a fragment of the arc reactor. It will hold for maybe 10 minutes under sustained assault. Nana? Thea teaches him about sorcery. She shows him glintstone, the blue mineral that stores magic. Tony analyzes it. The stone resonates at a frequency his instruments can barely detect. It is a battery, a capacitor for magical energy. Can I use this to power my systems? Thea shrugs. Perhaps, but glintstone burns out. The magic fades. It is not infinite. Nothing is infinite. He experiments carefully, a small piece of glintstone integrated into his repulsor. The output increases by 15%, but the stone cracks after 3 shots. Not sustainable, but useful. Yura drills the soldiers. She is a hard teacher, ruthless but fair. Tony watches her work. She cares about these people. Every one of them. She knows their names, their families, their fears. On the 3rd night, Father Corin returns. He is not alone. 5 priests accompany him. They wear golden robes and masks shaped like fingers. Their presence is heavy, oppressive. The air around them shimmers with divine power. Tony meets them in the courtyard. Aldrich and Yura flank him. Oh, Corin speaks. The church has sent its judgment. You are declared an enemy of the Golden Order. Your technology is heresy. Your presence is corruption. You will leave these lands or be cleansed. Tony does not move. And if I refuse? One of the masked priests steps forward. Then you will burn. The priest raises his hand. Golden light builds in his palm. It is not sorcery, not magic. It is faith made manifest, the power of the Erd Tree itself. Tony's HUD screams warnings. The energy signature is off the scale. Jarvis, analysis. Sir, that energy type bypassed your armor earlier. Direct hit will penetrate. Tony calculates. He can dodge, maybe. Or he can fire first. Kill the priest before the spell completes. But that starts a war with the church. Thousands of faithful, maybe hundreds of thousands. Yura draws her sword. If you attack him, you attack us. Corin's blind eyes turn toward her. Then you will burn with him. The golden light grows brighter. Aldrich steps forward. Stop. His voice is calm, authoritative. I am Aldrich of Carrier, Knight Captain of Raya Lucaria. By ancient treaty, Carrier has sovereignty in matters of sorcery and science. This man is under my protection. The priest hesitates. Carrier has no power here. This is Erdtree land. Carrier has every power granted by Queen Renala and the full moon. Challenge me, and you challenge the Academy. The priests look at each other. Politics. Tony sees it clearly. The Church and the Academy are rivals, uneasy allies, one step from war themselves. Corin speaks, voice tight. The Church will remember this, Aldrich, as will Carrier. The priests lower their hands. The golden light fades, but Corin does not move. You have 3 days, stranger. 3 days to prove your worth. If you cannot stop Godric, we will stop you. They leave. Tony exhales. Thank you. Aldrich nods. Do not thank me yet. I have made enemies for you, powerful enemies. Now you must deliver. You must stop Godric, or we will all pay the price. That night, Tony cannot sleep. The reactor burns in his chest. The heat is constant now, painful. Jarvis reports 7 days remaining before core failure, maybe less if he uses high-power systems again. He sits in the chapel running numbers. He cannot win this, not the way he is fighting. Godric is too strong, the church is too powerful, and his time is running out, unless... He pulls up the arc reactor schematics. The palladium core is failing because the dimensional physics stress it. But what if he replaces the palladium? What if he uses local materials? Glintstone is a magical battery. Runes are fragments of reality warping power. What if he integrates them into the reactor? The idea is insane, dangerous. It could stabilize the core, or it could cause a cascade failure that kills him instantly. 50-50 odds. But doing nothing guarantees death in 7 days. Tony pulls out a fragment of glintstone. He begins the calculations. Morning comes. Miriel bursts into the chapel. Godric's army is moving. Full mobilization. Thousands of soldiers heading south. Tony suits up. The armor is damaged, patched, held together with local metal and improvisation, but it still works. Yura gathers the fighters, 80 now. More have come from nearby villages. Word has spread. The stranger with the flying armor, the man who defeated the grafted. They look at him with hope, and Tony hates it. Aldrich addresses the troops. Today we make our stand, not for glory, not for honor, for survival, for the chance to live one more day in this broken world. Fight smart, fight together, and do not throw your lives away. The army appears on the horizon. 2,000 soldiers, grafted warriors, banished knights in black armor, trolls pulling siege weapons, and at the center, riding a grotesque horse made of corpses, Godric, the grafted himself. He is massive, 10 feet tall, his body is a nightmare of stolen limbs. Dozens of arms sprout from his torso, each holding a weapon, axes, swords, spears. His face is gaunt, eyes burning with mad light. And grafted to his left shoulder a dragon's head. Its eyes are dead, but its jaws open and close. Godric raises one of his many arms. The army charges. Tony launches into the air. He cannot stay high. The winds tear at him, trying to drag him down. He flies low, fast, weaving through crossbow bolts and spells. He fires missiles into the siege weapons. They explode in blooms of fire. Trolls scream and fall. Aldrich leads the cavalry charge. 20 knights in silver and blue. They crash into the grafted flank. Steel rings, blood sprays. Thea and a dozen sorcerers unleash their spells. Glintstone shards rain from the sky. They pierce armor, shatter shields. Tony dives into the enemy center. He fires repulsors in controlled bursts, targeting commanders, breaking formations. He cannot kill them all, but he can create chaos. A ballista bolt catches his right arm. The armor cracks. Hydraulics fail. Tony spins, nearly crashes, pulls up at the last second. Right arm at 40% functionality, Jarvis reports. Tony grits his teeth. Compensate. Godric watches from his corpse horse. He does not move. He studies, calculates. Then he dismounts. The ground shakes when he lands. He walks towards the gate front, slowly, deliberately. His many arms swing in rhythm. The dragon head grafted to his shoulder opens its jaws. Fire spills out, not dragon fire, something worse. Golden fire, holy fire, mixed with dragon breath. It sweeps across the battlefield. Tarnished soldiers scream. Their armor melts, their flesh burns. They do not die instantly, they suffer. Tony dives. He fires the unibeam at Godric. The white-hot beam strikes the demigod's chest. Godric staggers. One step, his grafted arms raise shields. The beam splashes against them. The shields glow red, then white, then vaporize. Godric remains standing. He laughs. The sound is broken, insane. You are strong, little insect, but I am a demigod. I have claimed the power of the Elden Ring. You are nothing. Tony lands. The reactor is screaming. 90% temperature. The heat is unbearable. Godric charges. He is fast, impossibly fast for something his size. Tony fires both repulsors. The blasts hit Godric's chest. They barely slow him. One of Godric's many arms swings an axe. Tony dodges. The axe misses by inches. Another arm swings a mace. Tony blocks with his damaged right arm. The armor shatters. His arm breaks. Pain explodes through his body. He fires the left repulsor point blank into Godric's face. The demigod's head snaps back. Blood sprays, but Godric laughs again. He heals. The wound closes. The great rune sustains me. You cannot kill me. Tony's vision blurs. The reactor is at 95% temperature. Alarms scream in his ears. Godric raises all his arms, weapons poised. Die now, heretic. A voice cuts through the chaos. Oh, Stark, catch. Thea throws something, a glowing blue stone, glintstone, twice the size of the fragments Tony has been studying. He catches it with his left hand. Use it, channel your power through it, Sam. Tony does not think. He jams the glintstone into the arc reactor's external port. The reactor pulses. The glintstone shatters, and power explodes outward. Not repulsor energy, not unibeam, something new, blue and white light mixed together, technology and magic fused. The blast hits Godric. The demigod flies backward. He crashes through his own army. Soldiers scatter. The corpse horse is vaporized. Tony collapses. The reactor is at 98%. The glintstone is gone, burned out in one shot. But Godric is down. Aldrich rallies the troops. Now, while he is vulnerable. The tarnished army surges forward. They swarm Godric. Swords rise and fall. Axes bite into grafted flesh. Godric roars. He rises. His many arms swing wildly. Dozens of soldiers die, but more replace them. Tony forces himself to stand. His right arm hangs useless. The reactor is critical. He has minutes, maybe less. He limps towards Godric. The demigod sees him. Hatred burns in those mad eyes. You dare! Godric's dragon head opens its jaws. Golden fire builds. Tony raises his left hand. One shot left, maybe. He fires. The repulsor blast strikes the dragon head. The jaw shatters. Fire spills backward into Godric's own body. The demigod screams. Yura appears beside Tony. Her sword is broken. Her armor is torn. But she stands. Together, she says. Tony nods. They charge Godric. Yura ducks under a sword swing. She drives her broken blade into Godric's knee. The demigod stumbles. Tony fires his boot thrusters. He launches upward, spins, brings his left fist down on Godric's skull with every ounce of power the damaged armor can generate. The impact cracks the demigod's skull. Godric falls to one knee. Aldrich charges. His lance strikes Godric's chest. It pierces the grafted flesh, reaches the heart. Godric gasps. Blood spills from his mouth. It's impossible. I am a demigod. I cannot. For he collapses. His many arms twitch. Go still. Light rises from his body. Golden light. It coalesces into a fragment, a great rune. The battlefield goes silent. The grafted soldiers stop fighting. Without Godric's will to drive them, they are just corpses. They fall where they stand. The banished knights flee. The trolls retreat into the hills. Victory. Tony drops to his knees. The reactor is at 99%. He can feel it burning him from the inside. Yura kneels beside him. You did it. We did it. Aldrich approaches. He looks at the great rune hovering above Godric's corpse. The rune must be claimed by someone, or it will attract others. Worse things than Godric. Oh, Tony looks at it. Power. Reality-warping power. Enough to stabilize his reactor. Enough to go home. Enough to do so much good. Or so much harm. Yura speaks quietly. Do not take it stark. Great runes corrupt. They drive men mad. Look at what they did to Godric. Tony stares at the rune. His hand reaches toward it. The light is beautiful, terrible. He pulls his hand back. Someone else, someone who can resist. Aldrich nods. Wise. A golden light descends from the sky. Not harsh, gentle. It touches the great rune. The fragment rises into the air and vanishes. A voice speaks. It comes from everywhere and nowhere. The heretic has shown restraint. The Golden Order acknowledges this. You are summoned to Lendl, the capital, to stand before the council and be judged. The light fades. Father Corin stands at the edge of the battlefield. His face is unreadable, ma'am. Orny stands. His armor is destroyed. His arm is broken. The reactor is failing. But he stands. Looks like I have an appointment. Act 3. The journey to Lendl takes 4 days. Tony travels in a wagon because his armor cannot fly. The right side is shattered. The boot thrusters are dead, and the arc reactor sits at 100% temperature, locked there, burning him constantly. Jarvis runs diagnostics every hour. Sir, core failure imminent. Estimated time remaining 4 days, 6 hours. Tony does not sleep. The pain keeps him awake, and the heat radiates through his chest like holding burning coals against his heart. Yura rides beside the wagon. Aldrich leads 20 knights as escort. Thea sits across from Tony, studying him. You are dying, she says, not a question. Yes, the light in your chest, it is killing you. Eventually. Thea leans forward. There are ways, sorceries that could cool it, incantations that could slow the decay. Tony shakes his head. Magic and technology don't mix well here. Every time I tried integrating glintstone, it burned out in seconds. My reactor operates on different physics. Then you need different physics. Thea pulls out a small vial. Inside, liquid gold swirls. Sacred tears, blessed by the Erd tree. They heal wounds that should not heal. They restore what is broken. Tony takes the vial. analyzes it with his damaged sensors. The liquid registers as both matter and energy. It exists in multiple states simultaneously. What's the cost? Cost. Everything here has a cost. Grace, runes, magic. What does this cost? Thea's face darkens. Faith. You must believe in the Erd Tree, in the Golden Order. The tears only work for the faithful. Tony hands back the vial. Then they won't work for me. You would rather die? I would rather die as myself than live as someone else's puppet. Yura rides closer. The capital is ahead. Lendl rises before them like a golden dream. The city is massive, walls 50 feet high encircle it, towers reach toward the sky, their peaks lost in clouds, and at the center, the Erd Tree itself, the great golden tree that holds this world together. Its branches spread across the sky, its roots dive deep into the earth, light radiates from every leaf. Tony's sensors cannot process it. The Erd Tree exists outside normal space. It is here and everywhere simultaneously. Looking at it hurts his eyes. They pass through the outer gate. Soldiers in golden armor watch from the walls. Knights on horseback patrol the streets. Citizens in clean clothes walk freely. Children play. Markets sell food and goods. Lendl has not fallen. It still stands, still functions, a bastion of order in a broken world. But Tony sees the cracks, the fear in people's eyes, the way they avoid looking at the Erd Tree too long, the soldiers who grip their weapons too tight. This city is holding on by its fingernails. They reach the inner sanctum, a fortress within the city, white stone walls, golden banners, silent guards in full plate armor who watch everything and say nothing. Father Corin waits at the entrance. Behind him, a dozen priests in golden robes. The council will see you now, Corin says. His voice is cold. Leave your weapons. Tony looks at his armor. It is his weapon, all of it. I can't take it off. The reactor is the only thing keeping me alive. Corin's blind eyes somehow stare right through him. Then you will die in the heretic's armor. How fitting. Aldrich steps forward. The council guaranteed safe passage. Safe passage, not comfort. The heretic will be judged as he is. Tony waves Aldrich back. It's fine. Let's get this over with. They walk through corridors of white stone. Murals cover the walls. They show the history of this world. Queen Marika ascending, the Elden Ring hole, the age of plenty one. Then the shattering, the ring broken, gods warring, the world bleeding. They reach a massive door, 20 feet tall, made of gold. Runes are carved into its surface. They glow with soft light. The door opens. The chamber beyond is circular, 50 feet across. The ceiling is open to the sky. Golden light pours down from the Erd Tree itself. In the center, a raised platform. 12 figures sit in a semicircle. They wear masks. Some are golden, some are silver, some are carved from stone. Their robes mark them as priests, sorcerers, knights, and lords. And this is the council. One figure sits higher than the rest. The mask is pure white, featureless. The voice that comes from behind it is neither male nor female. Tony Stark, outsider, heretic. You stand accused of violating the Golden Order, of bringing forbidden technology into the lands between, of disrupting the natural law. How do you answer? Tony steps forward. Every movement sends pain through his broken arm. The reactor burns. I came here to help. Your world is dying. The dimensional walls are collapsing. I have the knowledge to fix that, or at least slow it down. A figure in a golden mask speaks. The world dies because the Elden Ring is broken? Because Queen Marika shattered it? Because the demigods war over the fragments? Your technology cannot fix this. Only the restoration of the ring can heal the lands between. Then let me help you restore it. Another figure, this one in silver. You cannot. You are not tarnished. You have no grace. You cannot see the guidance of gold. You are blind to the greater will's plan. Tony's temper flares. Your greater will's plan involves millions of people dying while gods play their games. I have seen this before. Powerful beings using mortals as pawns. I didn't accept it then. I won't accept it now. The chamber goes cold. The white-masked figure leans forward. You dare judge the greater will? I dare judge anyone who lets innocent people suffer when it can be stopped. Silence. Then laughter, soft, from one of the masked figures in the back. A woman's voice. The outsider has courage, foolish courage, but courage nonetheless. The white-masked figure raises a hand. The laughter stops. You defeated Godric the Grafted. You refused his great rune. These actions show wisdom, but wisdom alone is not enough. You are a disruption, an anomaly. Your very presence strains the fabric of our world. And now, Tony knows. He can feel it. Every second he exists here, the reactor pulls at the dimensional walls. He is a wound that will not close. Then let me fix the breach. Send me home. We cannot. The path you tore is one way. Your technology burned it closed behind you. You are trapped here until you die. And when you die, the breach will close completely. Tony's chest tightens. Not physically, emotionally. Trapped. No way home. 4 days until the reactor fails. 4 days to live. He thinks of Pepper, of Happy, of the Avengers. They will never know what happened to him, and he will just disappear. Another casualty in a world they don't know exists. The white-masked figure continues. However, there is another matter. An enemy rises, one who can destroy you, one who has studied your defeat and adapted. A projection appears in the air. Golden light forms an image. A figure in armor, but the armor is wrong, twisted. It looks like Tony's Mark 51, but grafted. Organic material fused with metal, flesh merged with steel. And in the chest, instead of an arc reactor, a pulsing red light, a corrupted heart. Tony's blood goes cold. The white-masked figure speaks. His name is Vike. He was once a tarnished knight. He came closest to the Elden Throne of any warrior, but he faltered. The frenzied flame took him. It corrupted him, drove him mad. Now he wears the armor of the dead, grafted from fallen warriors. And he has found pieces of your armor from the battlefield. He has grafted them to himself. The image shifts. Vike tears a piece of Tony's shoulder plating from Godric's corpse. He presses it against his own armor. Flesh grows over it, absorbs it. The metal glows red. He has gained your technology, but powered by the frenzied flame, the power of chaos itself. And if Tony stares at the image, this is his fault. His armor, his technology, now twisted into something horrible. Where is he? Approaching from the north, he leads an army of those touched by the frenzied flame. They burn everything. They want to destroy the Golden Order, to burn the Erd Tree, to return all things to primordial chaos. The white-masked figure stands. You created this threat, outsider. You will stop it, or you will die trying. This is your judgment. Tony looks at the council, at the 12 masked figures who hold the power of this world. You're using me, sending me to die against an enemy you can't stop. Yes. At least they are honest. Tony turns to leave. But the woman's voice speaks again. Wait, take this. Figure approaches. She removes her silver mask. Underneath, she is beautiful, ageless. Her eyes are kind but sad. She holds out a small shard. It glows with soft golden light. A fragment of grace. It will not make you tarnished, but it will let you survive one death, one resurrection. Use it wisely. Tony takes the shard. It is warm in his hand. Why help me? Because you refused the great rune, because you value life over power, and because this world needs people like you, even if the Golden Order does not admit it. She replaces her mask and returns to her seat. The white-masked figure speaks. Go, stop Vike or die. The council does not care which. Tony leaves the chamber. Outside, Yura and Aldrich wait. What happened? Yura asks. I have a new enemy, one wearing my own technology against me. Aldrich's face darkens. Vike, I have heard the stories. He is madness given form, an unstoppable warrior, consumed by the frenzied flame. Then I'll have to stop him anyway. Thea appears from a side corridor. I heard. I am coming with you. This isn't your fight. You saved Limgrave. You refused power when it was offered. That makes it my fight. Tony looks at the three of them. Warriors, survivors, people who should run but choose to stand. Thank you. They gather supplies, weapons, potions. Yura acquires a new sword. Aldrich repairs his armor. Thea stocks glintstone shards. Tony works on his suit, though the right arm is beyond repair. He removes it completely, reduces weight, redirects power to the left side. The boot thrusters are dead, so he is grounded. No more flight. He integrates a piece of glintstone into the left repulsor. Carefully. It increases output, but will burn out after 10 shots, maybe less. The arc reactor sits at 100% temperature. 3 days, 18 hours, until failure. Jarvis speaks quietly. Sir, if I may, it has been an honor. We're not dead yet, Jarvis. Nevertheless. Tony smiles, and even in a dying body in a broken world, Jarvis remains Jarvis. Night falls over Lendell at Ut. Ernie stands on the battlements looking north. Somewhere out there, Vike is coming, an army of madness at his back and wearing Tony's own technology as a weapon. Yora joins him. Cannot sleep. Never could before a big fight. This Vike, you said he wears your armor. Does that make him as strong as you? Tony considers. Stronger. The frenzied flame gives him power I don't have, and he knows how I fight. He has studied me, adapted. Then how do we win? By doing what he doesn't expect, by fighting smart instead of strong. You're a nod. You sound like a tarnished. Is that a compliment? From me, yes? They stand in silence for a moment. Yura speaks quietly. When I was young, I died in battle, my first death. I woke at a sight of grace, confused, terrified. I thought I was cursed, but an old tarnished found me. He said, we do not die because we are weak. We die because we are willing to fight impossible battles. That is what makes us tarnished. She looks at Tony. You are not tarnished, but you fight like one. I've had practice. A horn sounds from the north. Scouts rush into the courtyard. Vike's army 2 miles out. They are burning everything in their path. Tony turns to Yura. Get everyone ready. This is it, Jade. They descend from the walls. The city mobilizes. Knights mount horses. Soldiers form ranks. Sorcerers gather at the walls. Citizens flee to inner sanctums. Aldrich addresses his knights. We hold the northern gate. We do not let them breach the walls. We fight for every inch. Tony checks his systems. 1 working arm. No flight. Limited ammunition. The reactor burning him alive. He has fought worse odds, probably. The army appears on the horizon. 500 soldiers, but they are not normal soldiers. Their eyes burn with yellow fire, the frenzied flame, madness made visible. They scream as they charge, not war cries, just screaming, pure chaos. And at their head, Vike. He is massive, 7 feet tall. His armor is a nightmare fusion, plate metal grafted with flesh. Tony's red and gold plating merged into black iron and exposed muscle. His helmet has 3 eyes carved into it. All of them burn yellow. In his right hand he carries a spear. It crackles with yellow lightning. In his left hand, a twisted version of Tony's repulsor. Flesh and metal fused together. It glows with frenzied flame. Tony steps forward, alone, onto the field before the gate. Jarvis, scan him. Find a weakness. Sir, the armor is biological. It regenerates. Standard attacks will be ineffective. Then we go for non-standard. Vike stops 50 feet away. His army halts behind him. When he speaks, his voice is layered. Multiple voices speaking at once, human and inhuman. Tony Stark, the outsider, the heretic. You brought such wonderful technology to our world. And now I will use it to burn everything. Tony's jaw tightens. That armor is mine. You're wearing stolen property. Vike laughs. The sound is broken glass property. This armor is alive now. Fed by the frenzied flame. It is more than you ever made it. He raises his left hand. The corrupted repulsor glows. Let me show you. He fires. The blast is not blue-white, it is yellow. Chaos energy mixed with repulsor technology. Tony dives. The blast hits the ground where he stood. The earth does not explode. It unravels, dissolves into constituent atoms. A perfect sphere of nothing appears. Tony's sensors scream. Sir, that weapon erases matter at a fundamental level. I noticed. Tony fires his left repulsor. The blast strikes Vike's chest. The corrupted armor absorbs it. The energy feeds the frenzied flame, makes it stronger. Vike laughs again. Your attacks make me stronger, Stark. Everything makes me stronger. That is the beauty of chaos. He charges. Tony has no flight, no speed advantage. He meets the charge head-on. Vike swings his spear. Tony dodges. The spear passes inches from his head. Yellow lightning arcs off it. Tony's HUD flickers. The energy disrupts his systems. Tony punches with his left fist. Enhanced strength, all his remaining power. The blow connects with Vike's jaw. The corrupted helmet cracks. Vike's head snaps back. He stumbles. Then he laughs. The crack heals. Flesh grows over it, seals it. I cannot be hurt, little god. I have embraced chaos. I have let go of order. There is no pain, no death, only fire. He fires the corrupted repulsor again. Tony raises his left arm, tries to block. The blast hits his armor. The metal screams, begins to dissolve. Tony cuts the connection, ejects the forearm plating. It falls away, disintegrating. His left arm is now exposed, flesh and blood. Vike closes, grabs Tony by the throat with his free hand. The touch burns. The frenzied flame spreads from Vike's gauntlet into Tony's neck. Yellow fire crawls across his skin. Tony screams. The pain is worse than anything, worse than the arc reactor, worse than the shrapnel. This is pain that erases, that unmakes. Vike lifts Tony into the air. You see, you cannot win. Your order, your logic, your precious technology, all of it is meaningless before chaos. Tony's vision blurs. The yellow fire spreads across his chest, toward the arc reactor. If it reaches the reactor, Tony dies. The core will destabilize, explode, take half the city with him. He has one shot. Tony reaches into his belt, pulls out the shard of grace, the golden fragment the woman gave him. He jams it into Vike's eye slot. The grace explodes. Golden light erupts from Vike's helmet. He screams, drops Tony, staggers backward. The frenzied flame and grace collide. Order versus chaos. The energies tear at each other. Tony hits the ground. His throat is burned. His chest is on fire with yellow flame. He pats it out. Desperately, his hands blister. Vike tears the grace shard from his helmet, crushes it, but the damage is done. His face, visible through the cracked helmet, is burned, scarred. You dare use that filth against me? He raises the corrupted repulsor, points it at Tony's head. Die! An arrow strikes Vike's wrist. The corrupted repulsor fires wide. The blast erases a section of wall. Yura stands on the battlements, bow in hand. Now! 50 archers fire. Arrows rain down on Vike. Most bounce off the corrupted armor, but some find gaps, joints, eye slots. Vike staggers under the assault. Fear unleashes her sorcery. Glintstone comets strike Vike's back. The impacts drive him to one knee. Aldrich charges with 20 knights, their lances lower. Vike roars. He swings his spear in a circle. Yellow lightning explodes outward. Knights fly backward. Horses scream and fall. But Aldrich makes it through. His lance strikes Vike's chest, pierces the corrupted armor, drives deep up. Vike looks down at the lance, laughs. He grabs it, pulls it deeper, until the point emerges from his back. I told you I cannot die. He grabs Aldrich, lifts him from his horse, headbutts him. Aldrich's helmet cracks. He falls, unconscious. Tony forces himself to stand. The reactor is at 102% temperature. Beyond red line, alarm, scream. He has minutes before core failure. Vike turns back to him. Enough games. He fires the corrupted repulsor 3 times. Rapid fire. Tony dodges the first. The second clips his leg. His boot dissolves. He falls. The third is aimed at his chest. Time slows. Tony sees the blast coming, sees the reactor glowing in his chest, sees the end. Figure appears between them. Father Corin. The old blind priest raises his hands. Golden light erupts from his palms, a shield of faith. The chaos blast hits the shield. Order and chaos collide again. The explosion throws everyone backward. Tony slides across the ground. His armor is shredded. The reactor is exposed. 98% of the casing is gone. Father Corin lies in the dirt. His robes are burned. His hands are gone, vaporized. He looks at Tony with his blind eyes. I was wrong about you, heretic. Forgive me. He dies. Tony stares. The old priest who called him an abomination, who wanted him dead, sacrificed himself. Vike stands. His army charges past him. 500 mad warriors screaming toward the gate. Tony looks at his HUD. The reactor is critical. Core temperature at 105%. Containment failing. He has one option left. Overload. Jarvis, full power to the unibeam. Everything. Burn the whole reactor if you have to. Sir, that will cause cascade failure. You will have approximately 90 seconds before the reactor detonates. I know. Tony stands. His armor is destroyed. His body is burned. But the arc reactor still glows. He aims his chest at Vike. Hey, Vike! The corrupted warrior turns. Tony fires. The unibeam erupts. But this time it is not just technology. The reactor is pulling energy from the dimensional walls themselves, from the fabric of this world. The beam is white and gold and blue, all mixed together. It strikes Vike. The corrupted armor tries to absorb it. Fails. There is too much energy, too much power. Vike screams. The beam burns through him, through the frenzied flame, through the grafted flesh and stolen metal. It burns him to ash. The army stops. Without Vike's will, the frenzied flame fades from their eyes. They look around, confused. Some flee, some fall to their knees. Tony collapses. The reactor is dying. He can feel it. Heat, pain. The core is seconds from detonation. Yura runs to him. Starker, get back. Get everyone back. The reactor is going to explode. No, we can save you. There's no time. Thea appears. She kneels beside him, places her hands on the reactor. What are you doing? Sorcery. I am pulling the heat out, transferring it into glintstone. She pulls out a dozen glintstone shards, places them around the reactor. They begin to glow, red, white. They absorb the heat. One shatters, then another. The heat is too much. Aldrich limps over, helm cracked. He kneels, places his gauntlets on the reactor. My faith, take it! Golden light flows from his hands. It cools the reactor, slows the cascade. More knights join, more sorcerers. They pour their power into saving Tony. The reactor temperature drops. 104%, 103, 100. The alarms stop. Stabilized. Tony gasps. You saved me. Thea smiles. You saved us first. They carry Tony into the city. Healers work on him for hours. His burns are treated. His arm is set. The reactor is cased in temporary shielding made of glintstone and faith-blessed steel. He wakes the next morning in a white room. Yura sits beside the bed. You are alive. Surprised? Always. Tony sits up. Pain lances through him, but it is normal pain, not the burning. The reactor? He is stable for now. The healers say you have maybe 6 days before it fails again, but you bought time. 6 days. Better than 4. Aldrich enters. His face is bandaged. The council wishes to see you. Tony dresses. The armor is gone, destroyed. All he has is a simple tunic and the reactor, glowing in his chest. They walk through the corridors again. The chamber door opens. The 12 masked figures sit in their semicircle. The white masked figure stands. Tony Stark, you have proven yourself. You defeated Vike. You saved the city. The council recognizes your service. Tony waits for the other shoe to drop. However, you remain a wound in our world. Your presence strains the dimensional walls, and now your armor is destroyed. You cannot fight as you once did. So what now? You kill me and close the wound? No, we send you north, to the mountaintops of the giants. There in the forge of the giants, ancient power remains. Power that can reshape reality itself. If anyone can stabilize your reactor and repair the dimensional breach, it is there. Tony's sensors are gone. He has no way to verify this. He has to trust them. He doesn't trust them. But he has no choice. How far? 2 weeks on foot, through hostile territory, past the capital, through the frozen peaks, to the forge. I can't fight without my armor. The woman in the silver mask speaks. Then you will need companions, and you will need this. She approaches, hands him a sealed scroll. A writ of passage signed by the council. It grants you safe passage through Golden Order territory, and it commands all loyal servants to aid you. Tony takes the scroll. Why help me now? Because Father Corin died for you, and because the council has debated, some of us believe you are a gift, a chance to fix what is broken. Others believe you are a curse, but all of us agree you deserve the chance to try. She removes her mask again. Her face is kind. My name is Melina. I will guide you to the forge, if you will have me. Tony looks at her, at Yura, at Aldrich, at Thea. Warriors who should run, but choose to stand. When do we leave? Dawn. Codex note, frenzied flame corruption, once introduced to technology, creates matter erasure effects by unraveling atomic bonds. Only grace or faith magic can interrupt the cascade. 4. They leave at first light. 5 travelers, Tony, Melina, Yura, Aldrich, Thea. They take the northern road out of Lendl. The path climbs through foothills, then mountains. The air grows thin, cold. Tony wears borrowed armor, simple steel. No servos, no HUD, no Jarvis, just metal plates and leather straps. He feels naked without his technology. The reactor sits exposed in his chest. Glintstone fragments and blessed steel cage it, but everyone can see it. The blue light pulses with his heartbeat. Melina leads. She knows the path. She has walked it before, she says, in another life. What does that mean? Tony asks. I have died many times, been reborn many times. Each life I remember fragments of the one before, enough to guide, not enough to understand. It sounds like a curse. Nay, it is purpose. They walk for 3 days. The landscape changes. Green hills give way to snow. Trees become sparse. The wind cuts like knives. On the 3rd night they reach a chapel, abandoned, stone walls half collapsed. But it has a roof and a fireplace. They build a fire, share rations. Thea uses minor sorcery to warm the air. Aldrich cleans his weapons. His movements are practiced. Ritual. Tomorrow we pass the inner wall. Beyond that we are in giant territory. Giants? Tony asks. The last of them. When the Golden Order rose, Queen Marika ordered the giants exterminated. Their fire threatened the Erdtree. Thousands died. Only a handful remain, mad with grief and rage. Yura pokes the fire. They are not the only threat. Troll knights patrol the mountains, and worse things hide in the snow. Tony looks at the reactor. 5 days remaining, maybe less. The journey to the forge will take at least a week. He might not make it. Melina sits beside him. You are afraid. Wouldn't you be? I have been, many times, but fear is just knowledge of risk. It does not mean you must stop. Easy to say when you resurrect. Melina's face is sad. My resurrections are not infinite. Each time I die, I lose a piece of myself. Eventually, there will be nothing left to bring back, just an empty shell guided by hollow purpose. Tony looks at her, really looks. She is maybe 25. But her eyes are old, ancient. How many times have you died? I do not remember any more. They sit in silence. Outside wind howls through the mountains. Morning comes with snow. They wrap themselves in furs, press forward. The path narrows. Cliffs drop away on both sides. One wrong step means a fall that never ends. Aldrich leads now. His eyes scan for threats. A sound echoes through the peaks. Deep, resonant, a horn. Down, Aldrich hisses. They drop behind a snowbank. Through the falling snow, shapes emerge, massive shapes, 10 feet tall, grey skin, faces carved with tribal scars. Giants, 3 of them. They wear furs and carry clubs the size of tree trunks. Their eyes burn with firelight. Do not move, Melina whispers. Their vision is poor, but their hearing is perfect. The giants stomp past, 20 feet away. The ground shakes with each step. One giant stops, sniffs the air, comes toward the snowbank. Tony's hand moves to his chest. The reactor. If he overloads it, he can create a distraction, buy the others time to run. The giant takes a step closer. Yura's hand is on her sword. Aldrich readies his lance. Thea's fingers glow with suppressed sorcery. Run! The giant leans down. Its face is massive, scarred. One eye is milky white, the other burns orange. It stares directly at Tony, then sees the reactor glowing. The giant's expression changes, not anger, wonder. It reaches out one massive finger, touches the reactor casing. The blue light reflects in the giant's good eye. It speaks. The voice is deep, rumbling, not threatening, sad. Flame, but not our flame, stranger flame. Tony does not move. Yes, different flame. The giant withdraws its finger. Our flame died. The golden ones killed it, killed us. Now only cold, only snow. I'm sorry. The giant nods slowly. You go to Forge to light flame again. Yes. Good. Forge waits. Forge remembers. Light flame, burn golden order, burn everything. The giant stands, rejoins the others. They disappear into the snow. Aldrich exhales. That was too close. Tony stands. He let us go. Why? Melina looks troubled. The giants remember the forge. It was theirs once, their sacred fire. Marika stole it, used it to forge weapons against them. He thinks you will use it for revenge. Will I? That depends on what you choose to burn. They reach the inner wall by evening. It is not a wall, it is a fortress, built into the mountain itself. Towers rise 100 feet, battlements thick with ice, and at the center, a gate, massive, sealed. The path goes through there, Aldrich says. We need to open it. Yura scans the walls. I see no guards, no lights. Abandoned, Thea suggests. No, Aldrich points. Look closer. Movement on the battlements, slow, jerky, figures in armor, but they do not patrol. They stand, motionless, until they suddenly move to a new position, then stop again. Undead, Yura whispers, left to guard even in death. Tony studies the gate. No control panel, no mechanism visible, just solid stone and iron. How do we open it? Melina points to the towers. There are 2 switches, one in the east tower, one in the west. Both must be pulled simultaneously. So we split up. Aldrich nods. Yura and I will take the east. You, Melina, and Thea take the west. They separate. Tony, Melina, and Thea approach the west tower. The door is open. Inside, darkness. Thea lights a glintstone. The glow illuminates stone stairs spiraling upward. Do they climb? The stairs are slick with ice. 60 steps, 80, 100. A sound above them, scraping, metal on stone. They freeze. Figure descends. Undead night. Its armor is rusted, its face is gone, just bone and withered flesh, but it moves. It sees them. It draws a sword. Tony has no repulsors, no missiles, just a steel blade on his hip. Or he draws it, but the undead knight charges, and he meets it, steel clashes. The knight is strong, impossibly strong. It drives Tony backward. His feet slip on the ice. Thea fires a glintstone shard. It strikes the knight's helm, knocks it sideways. Tony uses the opening, drives his blade into the knight's neck, severs the spine. The knight falls, stops moving. They continue climbing. The top of the tower is open to the sky. Wind howls, snow swirls. In the center, a lever, iron, crusted with ice. Tony grabs it, pulls. It does not move. Prudent solid. Thea steps forward, presses her palm against the lever. Heat radiates from her hand. Sorcery, the ice melts. Tony pulls again. The lever moves, slowly, grinding against rust and age. A bell rings, deep, resonant. Across the fortress, in the east tower, another bell answers. The gate groans, begins to open. They descend, meet Aldrich and Yura at the gate, slips through before it closes again. Beyond the wall, the path grows worse. The wind is constant, brutal. It strips heat from exposed skin. Tony's reactor glows brighter, working harder to keep him alive. 4 days remaining. They walk through snowfields. Nothing grows here. No trees, no grass, just white expanse and gray sky. On the 2nd day beyond the wall, they find the corpses. Dozen travelers, frozen in the snow, their faces twisted in agony, some reaching forward, some huddled together. No. What killed them? Tony asks. Melina kneels beside one. Cold, just cold. They ran out of supplies. No food, no fire. They died slowly. Tony looks at their supplies. 3 days of rations left. Maybe 4 if they stretch it. How much farther? 3 days if the weather holds. The weather does not hold. That night a storm hits. The wind becomes a living thing. It tears at their furs, blinds them with snow. They cannot see 10 feet ahead. Aldrich shouts over the wind, "We need shelter!" There is none, Melina shouts back. Then we die. Tony's mind races. They need heat, protection from the wind. He looks at the reactor. Jarvis, are you still functional? No response. The AI is offline. The reactor casing has no interface. But the reactor itself still works. Tony tears open his tunic, exposes the reactor fully. Everyone get close. They huddle around him. Tony manipulates the external controls, diverts power, increases output. But the reactor glows brighter. Heat radiates outward. The temperature around them rises, not warm, but above freezing. The storm rages. They sit in a circle around Tony, and his chest becomes a campfire. He can feel it, the strain, the reactor burning hotter, core temperature rising, but they do not freeze. Dawn comes, the storm passes, Tony collapses. The reactor is back at 100% temperature, 3 days remaining. Melina looks at him. You are killing yourself to save us. What else is new? They press on. The forge appears on the 3rd day. It sits at the peak of a mountain, a structure carved from obsidian, black stone that drinks light, massive chains wrap around it, each link the size of a man. Sea rises from the top, not smoke, heat, shimmer. The forge still burns. We made it, Yura says. They climb the final approach, steps carved into the mountain, thousands of them. Tony's legs burn, his lungs scream, the thin air is agony, but he climbs. At the top, a platform, and standing on it, a figure. Not a giant, not human, something between 15 feet tall, skin like charred wood, eyes that glow like coals. It wears no armor, needs none. Fire giant, Aldrich whispers, the last of them. The giant speaks. Its voice is the sound of burning logs. You come to the forge, why? No, what's it to? Tony steps forward. I need its power to fix my reactor, to stabilize the dimensional breach. The forge is sealed. By golden order, by Marika's curse, it cannot be used. Then I'll break the curse. The giant laughs. Embers spill from its mouth. Many have tried. All have failed. The curse is absolute. Only one thing can break it. What? The death of a god. Silence. Melina steps forward. I am Melina, daughter of Marika. I carry her blood. The giant's eyes narrow. Marika is not dead. She is imprisoned. Her blood lives but is not free. Then take mine instead. Melina draws a knife. I am her daughter. My blood carries her lineage. Will that suffice? The giant considers. Perhaps, but the price is high. The forge demands sacrifice. If you break the curse, you will burn your body, your soul, everything. Melina does not hesitate. I accept. Tony grabs her arm. No, there has to be another way. There is not. You know this. I'm not letting you die for me. Melina's eyes are calm. I have died 100 times. Each time I lose a piece of myself. Soon there will be nothing left. Let this death mean something. Let it save you. Save this world. Tony's throat tightens. He barely knows her. 3 days of travel. But she is willing to die for him. Why? Because you refuse the great rune. Because you value life over power. Because this world needs people like you, even if it does not deserve them. She pulls free, walks toward the forge entrance. The giant watches. You are brave, child of Marika. The forge will accept your sacrifice. Melina turns back, looks at Tony. Fix the breach. Save this world. That is all I ask. She enters the forge. Light erupts. Golden and red mixed together. The chains around the forge shatter. The curse breaks. A scream, not pain, release. The light fades. The forge door stands open. Melina is gone. Tony stands frozen. Another person dead. Another sacrifice. Yura's hand on his shoulder. Do not let it be for nothing. Tony enters the forge. Inside it is vast, a cathedral of black stone and fire. At the center, an anvil, made of material Tony does not recognize. It glows with heat that should vaporize everything around it. The fire giant follows him in. Place your heart on the anvil. Tony looks at the reactor, at the exposed core glowing in his chest. If I remove it, I die. If you do not fix it, you die. The forge can reforge anything, even broken physics, but you must offer it to the flame. Tony's hands shake. He reaches for the reactor casing. The glintstone shards fall away. The blessed steel peels back. He grips the reactor, feels the connections to his chest, to the shrapnel around his heart. This will kill him, but staying will kill him too. He pulls. Pain explodes through his body. The reactor tears free. Blood spills. The shrapnel shifts, cuts deeper. Tony falls to his knees. His vision blurs. He crawls forward, places the reactor on the anvil. The fire giant raises a hammer, massive, made of the same strange material. What do you wish to forge? Tony gasps. Blood fills his mouth. A bridge between dimensions, stable, permanent, so I can go home, so I can come back, so I can help. The giant nods. Ambitious, it will require all the forge's power, and it will bind you to this world, forever. Do it. The hammer falls. Once more, the reactor shatters. Even twice. The pieces melt, reform 3 times. The metal fuses with something else. Fire, magic, the essence of this world. The giant lifts the hammer. On the anvil, something new? Not a reactor, a core, blue and gold light swirling together, technology and magic, perfectly balanced. The giant picks it up, approaches Tony. This will hurt. He presses the core into Tony's chest. Tony screams. The core fuses with his flesh, with the shrapnel, with his heart. It becomes part of him, not a device he wears, part of his body. Power floods through him, more than before, cleaner, stronger. His wounds close, the blood stops. He stands. The core pulses in his chest. Blue and gold, arc reactor energy, and Elden Ring grace merge together. It is done, the giant says. You are bound to this world now. You can leave, but you will always return. The bridge is permanent. You are its anchor. Tony looks at his hands. Power flows through them. Not just technology, magic, faith, sorcery. He can feel it all. He is something new, not man, not demigod, something between. Aldrich enters the forge, sees Tony, his eyes widen. What happened? I got an upgrade. They leave the forge. Outside, the world has changed, or Tony's perception of it has. He can see grace now, golden threads connecting everything. He can see the Erdtree's roots spreading beneath the earth. He can see the dimensional walls, thin, cracking, but holding. We need to go back, Tony says, to Lanedale. The council needs to see this. They descend the mountain. The journey back takes 5 days, but Tony does not tire, does not hunger. The core sustains him. At night he experiments, channels power through his hands, a repulsor blast but golden instead of blue. It strikes a boulder. The stone does not explode. It simply ceases to exist, erased cleanly. Thea watches. You have become something this world has never seen. Technology touched by grace. Is that good or bad? I do not know yet. They reach Lanedale at dawn on the 6th day. The gates open. Word has spread. The stranger who entered the forge, who survived. The council summons him immediately. Tony stands before the 12 masked figures. The core glows in his chest, blue and gold. The white masked figure speaks. You have done the impossible. You have merged 2 incompatible forces, technology and grace. The greater will has taken notice. What does that mean? It means you have a choice to make. The figure stands. The dimensional breach is stabilized. You can return home, the bridge is open, or you can stay, serve the Golden Order. Use your power to restore the lands between. Tony looks at the council, at Ura, at Aldrich, at Thea. What about Melina? She sacrificed herself. Does the Golden Order acknowledge that? The woman in the silver mask speaks. Melina was my sister. I grieve her, but her sacrifice was her choice. The Order honors it. Tony's jaw tightens. Honor isn't enough. She died so I could help, so I will, but not as a servant. The white masked figure tilts its head. Explain. I'll stay. I'll help rebuild. I'll use this power to stabilize the lands between, but I do it my way. No rules, no doctrine. I help who needs it. I stop who deserves it, and if the Golden Order has a problem with that, we can discuss it. Silence. Then the white masked figure laughs. soft, genuine. You truly are unprecedented, Tony Stark. Very well. The Council grants you autonomy. You are bound to this world. You may act as you see fit, but know this, if you threaten the Order, we will stop you. Fair enough. The Council stands. Then go. There is much work to do. The demigods still war. The lands between still bleed. Be the bridge between old and new, between grace and technology. Be what this world needs. Tony nods. He leaves the chamber. Outside, Yura waits. What now? Tony looks at the core in his chest, at the power flowing through him. Now we get to work. Codex. Note, the Forge of the Giants, when fed willing sacrifice, can bind incompatible energies into permanent fusion. Tony Stark's core now channels both arc reactor physics and Elden Ring grace in perpetual equilibrium. A seat 5. The council chamber empties. Tony stands alone with the 12 masked figures. The core in his chest pulses. Blue and gold light fills the room. The white masked figure gestures. Before you leave, you must understand the full weight of your choice. Approach. Tony steps forward. The figure raises one hand. The air shimmers. 3 images appear, floating, translucent. Each one shows a different future. 3 paths lie before you, Tony Stark. The bridge you forged allows passage between worlds, but it requires anchor points, choices. Each path shapes not only your fate, but the fate of the lands between. The first image solidifies. Tony sees himself stepping through a portal, back to Earth. His workshop, Pepper running toward him. The Avengers gathering. Home. The white masked figure speaks. The first path, return. You may go home. The bridge will remain, but without your presence here, it will weaken. In 10 years, it will collapse. The lands between will be cut off again. You will live your life, age, die, and this world will fade from your memory like a dream. Tony stares at the image. Pepper's face. God, he misses her. Misses normalcy. Misses Earth. What happens here if I leave? The shattering continues. The demigods war. Millions die. Eventually, the frenzied flame or another outer god claims dominance. The Erdtree falls. The lands between become a wasteland, but you will not see it. You will be home, safe. The image shifts to show the lands between burning, the Erdtree collapsing, screaming citizens, Yura fighting, falling, dead. Tony's chest tightens. The second image appears. He sees himself in the lands between, moving freely, no allegiance to anyone, fighting when he chooses, helping who he wants, a warrior wandering a broken world. The second path, free agent. You stay, but serve no master. The Golden Order cannot command you. The demigods cannot control you. You act according to your own judgment. You save who you can. Fight who threatens you. The bridge remains stable because you anchor it, but you operate alone. What's the cost? Chaos. Without clear allegiance, all factions see you as potential enemy or potential weapon. You will be hunted, tested, challenged constantly. Some will try to kill you, others will try to use you. You will save thousands, but millions more will die in wars you cannot stop alone, and you will never go home, never see Earth again. The bridge requires your constant presence here to remain open. The image shows Tony fighting. Always fighting. He defeats a demigod's army, then another, but behind him, cities burn. He cannot be everywhere, cannot save everyone. He sees himself older, scarred, alone, still fighting, still losing ground. The third image appears. Tony sees himself kneeling, not in submission, in acceptance. The white-masked figure places a golden brand on his chest. The core absorbs it, changes. He rises wearing new armor, gold and blue, the symbol of the Erdtree fused with an arc reactor. He stands before armies, not commanding them, guiding them. The third path, sanctioned servant. You accept formal authority from the Golden Order. You become the Bridge Knight, the first of your kind. You wield power granted by grace and technology. You command resources, armies, scholars, sorcerers. You can make real change, end wars, rebuild nations, save millions. And the cost? Autonomy. You serve the Greater Will's plan. You cannot act against the Golden Order's doctrine. When the Council commands, you obey. You become a weapon of order, powerful, effective, but bound. And there are rules, laws you must follow. What kind of laws? The woman in the silver mask speaks. You may not kill those who surrender. You may not destroy sites of grace. You may not aid enemies of the Golden Order. You may not return to Earth for more than 1 day per year, and you must submit to judgment if your actions harm innocents. Tony processes this. So I get power and resources, but I become your soldier. Our champion, the white masked figure corrects. There is a difference. A soldier follows orders without question. A champion acts with purpose. We would give you latitude, trust, but yes, you would serve. The third image shows the future. Tony leading armies against demigods, winning, the wars ending, cities rebuilt, the Erdtree's light spreading, people living, thriving. But in the corner of the image, Tony kneels before the council, receiving orders, bowing his head. He sees himself visiting Earth just once a year. Pepper older, distant. She has moved on. The Avengers treat him like a stranger. He no longer fits in his own world. But the lands between flourish. Millions live because of his choices. These are my options? Yes. Tony looks at each image. Home, freedom, service. He thinks of Melina. She chose sacrifice, chose to burn so he could help. He thinks of Father Corin, the old priest who hated him, who died protecting him. He thinks of the soldiers at gate front, 7 dead, would have been 80 without him. He thinks of Pepper, of home, of the life he left behind. His hand touches the core in his chest, blue and gold, 2 worlds merged. He cannot save everyone, he learned that years ago, but he can save some, and some is better than none. I need to know something, Tony says. If I choose the third path, if I serve, will the Golden Order use me to oppress people, to enforce unjust laws? The white-masked figure considers. The Golden Order seeks stability. Sometimes stability requires hard choices. We will not lie to you. There will be times when you are ordered to fight those who rebel against order, even when their cause seems just. That's not an answer. The woman in the silver mask speaks. Tony Stark, I am Renna, sister to Melina. I sit on this council to represent mercy, to argue for compassion. If you choose this path, you will have allies here. We can shape the Golden Order from within, make it better, but only if people like us work to change it. Tony looks at her. And if the Golden Order orders me to do something unconscionable, kill innocents, burn villages, then you refuse, you break your oath, and you accept the consequences, which are, we hunt you, revoke your authority, possibly kill you. At least they're honest. Tony paces. The 3 images hover, 3 futures. Can I ask my friends? No, this choice is yours alone. Tony looks at the first image, home, Pepper, safety. He imagines her face when he appears, the joy, the relief. They would have a life, maybe get married, maybe have kids. He would save the world a few more times, die old, satisfied. And 60 million people in the lands between would burn. He looks at the second image, freedom, fighting alone. He could do good, real good, but he would be one man against impossible odds. He would watch people die because he could not reach them in time. He would grow old fighting a war he could never win. He looks at the third image, service, power, authority. He could end the wars, rebuild civilization, save millions, but he would bow to the Golden Order, follow their rules, become what he swore never to become. A weapon for someone else's agenda? But maybe he could change that agenda from within. Maybe he could make the Golden Order better. Or maybe he would just become another tool of oppression. Tony stops pacing. I have a counteroffer. The white-masked figure tilts its head. Speak. I choose the third path, but with amendments. I serve the Golden Order. I accept authority and resources. I follow the laws you outlined. But I get a voice, a seat at this council. When you debate policy, I am in the room. When you decide who lives and dies, I get to argue. And once per year, I can invoke a veto. One decision I can overrule if I believe it is unjust. Silence. The 12 masked figures look at each other. Renna speaks first. I support this. 2 other figures nod. The white-masked figure stands. You ask for unprecedented power. No mortal has ever sat on this council. I'm not mortal anymore, not entirely. I am a bridge between your world and mine, between grace and technology. If you want me to serve, then let me serve with full knowledge, full voice. The white-masked figure is silent for a long moment. Then it laughs. You are bold, Tony Stark. Foolish, but bold. Very well. The Council accepts your terms with one condition. Which is? Your veto can only be used to prevent action, not to compel it. You can stop us from doing something you believe is wrong, but you cannot force us to do something we oppose. Tony considers. It is a compromise, not perfect, but better than nothing. Deal? The white-masked figure raises both hands. Then kneel, Tony Stark, and receive the mandate. Tony kneels. The 12 figures stand. They form a circle around him. Each one places a hand on his shoulder or head. Light erupts, golden, blinding. Tony feels power flowing into him, not just energy, authority, the weight of law, the strength of order. The core in his chest absorbs the light, changes, the blue and gold spiral together, forming a new pattern, a symbol. An arc reactor fused with the Elden Ring. The light fades. Tony stands. His body is changed. He is still human, still himself, but stronger, faster. He can feel grace flowing through him like blood. He can manipulate it, shape it. Armor materializes on his body, not the Mark 51, something new, gold plates etched with circuit patterns, blue energy flowing through the seams, a helmet that covers his face but allows him to see everything, every thread of grace, every line of power. The bridge knight, the white-masked figure speaks. You are bound now to the Golden Order, to the lands between, to the bridge between worlds. Use your power wisely, serve with honor, and remember, power without restraint is tyranny. I know. The council returns to their seats. Renna removes her mask. She is crying. Melina would be proud. Tony nods. He cannot speak. His throat is tight. The white-masked figure gestures. Your first mandate, the demigod Morgoth, holds Lendel's true throne. He is the last defender of the Erdtree, but he is cursed. An omen, the people fear him. You will go to him. You will offer him alliance. Together, you will end the wars in Limgrave and Leonia. And if he refuses, then you will fight him, and you will win, because the Golden Order cannot allow chaos to spread. Tony's jaw tightens. First mission and already a potential fight with someone defending the Erdtree. But he agreed to this. He chose this path. Understood. He turns to leave. Renna calls out, Tony, one more thing. He stops. She approaches, hands him a small device. It looks like a phone, but it glows with grace. Okay, this is a beacon. Once per year, it will open a portal to Earth. For one day, use it wisely. Say your goodbyes, make your peace, but know that each time you return here, it will be harder to leave. Tony takes the beacon. Thank you. He leaves the chamber. Outside, Yura waits. She sees the armor, the symbol on his chest. Her eyes widen. You chose service. I chose to help. Service was the price. Aldrich and Thea approach. They bow, not deeply, but acknowledging his new authority. Don't do that, Tony says. I'm still me. Aldrich smiles. You are more than you, but yes, still you. They walk through Lendel. People stop, stare. Word spreads fast. The bridge knight, the stranger who defeated Vike, who entered the forge, who now serves the Golden Order. Some people cheer, others look afraid. Tony understands. He is an unknown, a variable. People do not trust variables. He will have to earn their trust. They reach the lower courtyard. Yura stops. What now? Now I go meet Morgoth alone. Alone? He is a demigod. I know, but this is diplomacy, not war. If I bring an army, he will see threat. If I come alone, he will see respect. Aldrich frowns. And if he attacks? Tony's armor glows, power flows through it. Then I defend myself. He walks towards the inner sanctum, toward the true throne of Lendo. The path takes him through the city's heart, past the great cathedral, past the fountain of grace, past the barracks where knights train. He reaches a massive door, gold and iron, sealed. 2 tree sentinels guard it. They cross their lances. None may pass. The Omen King does not grant audience. Tony's armor pulses. The symbol on his chest glows. I am the Bridge Knight, sanctioned by the Council. I will speak with Morgott. The sentinels hesitate. They can feel his authority, see the grace flowing through him. They lower their lances. The door opens. Beyond lies a throne room, vast, empty. At the far end, a throne of golden thorns. And sitting on it, Morgott. He is massive, 8 feet tall. His body is twisted. Horns sprout from his head. His skin is gray and scarred. An omen, born cursed, rejected by the Golden Order he now defends. He wears armor, black and gold. A great sword rests across his lap. His eyes burn with intelligence, with sorrow. So, Morgott says, his voice is deep, refined. The Council sends their new weapon, the Bridge Knight, come to bring order to the cursed king. Tony approaches, stops 20 feet away. I came to talk, not fight. Talk? Morgott laughs bitterly. The Golden Order does not talk to omens. We are abominations, mistakes. I sit this throne only because every other heir is dead or mad. The Council tolerates me because they have no choice. Then we have something in common. They tolerate me too? Morgott's eyes narrow. You compare yourself to me? You, who they make into a knight, who they grant armor and authority under. I'm a tool just like you. The difference is I know it, and I plan to use it. Use it for what? To end the wars. To stop the demigods from tearing this world apart. To give people a chance to live instead of just survive. Morgott stands. His great sword scrapes against the throne. Noble words, but words are wind. Radahn speaks of honor while he devours corpses. Rykard speaks of ambition while he feeds his warriors to a god-eating serpent. Millennia speaks of loyalty while her rot poisons entire regions. Every demigod speaks noble words. All of them bring only death. I'm not a demigod. No, you are worse. You are an outsider. You do not belong here. You do not understand our history, our pain, our sins. You come with your shining armor and your borrowed grace and think you can fix us. Tony meets his eyes. You're right. I don't understand your history. I don't understand why you defend the same order that cursed you. But I understand war. I understand what happens when powerful beings fight over ideology while innocents die. I have seen it. I have caused it. And I am trying to do better, man. Morgott is silent. Tony continues. I am not asking you to trust me. I am asking you to work with me. You hold Leyndell. I have the Council's authority. Together, we can bring the other demigods to heel, or at least stop them from destroying everything. And if I refuse, then I fight you and one of us dies and nothing changes. Morgott sits back down. His great sword rests across his lap. You are honest. I appreciate that. Most who serve the Golden Order hide behind doctrine, behind righteousness. You admit you are a tool. Because I am. But tools can be used for good or ill. I choose good. Morgott considers. Long minutes pass. Finally, he speaks. I will work with you, but know this, I do not do it for the Golden Order. I do not do it for grace or doctrine. I do it because the people of Leyndell deserve peace. They have suffered enough. If you can give them that, I will follow you into the hells themselves. Tony nods. That's all I ask. Morgott stands, extends his hand. It is massive, clawed, scarred. Tony takes it. They shake. An alliance formed, the Cursed King and the Bridge Knight. Outside word spreads, Morgott and the stranger have made peace. Leyndell is united. Over the next weeks they work. Tony uses his authority to call councils, to bring together knights, sorcerers, scholars. They plan campaigns, not wars of conquest, wars of stabilization. Morgott commands the armies. Tony provides strategy and power. They march on Limgrave first. The grafted remnants of Godric's forces scatter. Without their demigod, they are lost. Tony does not kill them. He offers terms. Surrender and live. Fight and die. Most surrender. Those who do not, he defeats. Quickly, efficiently. His new armor channels grace and technology together. He can fire repulsor blasts, enhanced with holy energy. He can fly using jets powered by golden light. He is faster than before, stronger, but still controlled. He does not slaughter. He disables, captures, shows mercy where possible when people notice. They begin to trust. Leonia is harder. The sorcerers of Rea Lucaria do not submit easily. They are proud, independent. Tony meets with Renala, the queen of the full moon. She is broken, lost in grief for her children, but she listens. He offers her resources, protection, in exchange for her sorcerer's knowledge. She agrees, slowly, reluctantly. The academy opens its doors. Tony learns their magic. They learn his technology, but then new innovations emerge. Glintstone batteries that last months instead of hours, sorceries that can repair dimensional walls, healing spells enhanced with medical nanites, a fusion of worlds. 6 months pass. The wars in Limgrave and Leonia end, not perfectly. There are still bandits, still rebels, but the large-scale conflicts stop. People return to their homes, plant crops, rebuild. Tony stands on the walls of Lendel one evening. The sun sets golden over the Erd tree. Yura joins him. She has been promoted. Captain of the Bridge Knights, a new order Tony founded, warriors who blend technology and grace. You did it, she says. You brought peace, at least to 2 regions. For now, Caelid still burns with millennia's rot. Rykard still rules the volcano manor. Radan still holds the stars. There is so much left to do. But you are doing it, one region at a time? Tony looks at the beacon in his hand. He has not used it yet, has not returned to Earth. He is afraid of what he will find, how much time has passed there, how much Pepper has moved on. Do you regret it? Yura asks. Your choice? Tony thinks. I regret what I lost, but I don't regret what I chose. These people needed help. I could give it. That's enough. Yura nods. Melina would be proud. I hope so. That night, Tony activates the beacon. A portal opens, blue and gold light swirling. He steps through. Tony emerges in his Malibu workshop. Everything is exactly as he left it. Tools on the workbench, schematics on the screens. Even the coffee cup he abandoned sits in the same spot. But dust covers everything. Jarvis activates. Welcome home, sir. You have been absent for 6 months, 14 days and 7 hours. 6 months, the same as in the lands between. Time flows equally. Where is Pepper? Miss Potts is at the Stark Industries headquarters. She has been managing affairs in your absence. She believes you are on an extended mission. Tony's chest tightens. Call her. Tell her I'm home. Right away, sir. Tony showers, changes into normal clothes. The armor dissolves when he wills it. The core in his chest remains, always glowing, blue and gold. Nah. Pepper arrives an hour later. She runs into the workshop, sees him, stops. Tony. Hey, Pep. She crosses the space, hugs him, hard. 6 months, 6 months without a word. Do you know what I thought? I thought you were dead. I thought... I'm sorry, I couldn't contact you. I was somewhere without communication. She pulls back, looks at him, really looks. You're different. What happened to you? Tony does not know where to start. I went to another dimension, a dying world. I helped them, and I can't leave. Not permanently. I can only come back once a year, for 1 day. Pepper stares. What? He explains everything. The dimensional breach, Elden Ring, the lands between, Melina's sacrifice, his choice, his new role. Pepper listens. Her face cycles through emotions, disbelief, anger, sorrow, acceptance. When he finishes, she sits down. So you're telling me you're leaving forever, except for 1 day per year? Yes. And you chose this? Yes. Pepper is silent for a long time. Then she stands, walks to the window, looks out at the ocean. I always knew this day would come, knew you would find something bigger than us, bigger than Earth. I just thought I would have more time. Tony approaches, stands beside her. I love you, Pepper. That hasn't changed. But you love them too, the people in that other world. Yes. Pepper turns, her eyes are wet. Then go, save them. That's who you are. That's who I fell in love with. The man who can't walk away when people need help. I can stay. Today, we have today. She smiles, sad, beautiful. Then let's not waste it. They spend the day together. They talk, they eat, they walk on the beach. They do not speak about the future, only the present. At midnight, Tony stands in the workshop, Pepper beside him. I'll come back, same day next year. I know. And maybe I'll figure out a way to come back more often, to stabilize the bridge better. Maybe. Tony activates the beacon, the portal opens. Pepper kisses him one last time. Save them, Tony. Make it worth it. I will. He steps through, the portal closes. Tony emerges on Lendel's walls. Dawn breaks over the Erd tree. Yura waits. How was it? A painful, necessary one. Will you go back? Next year, for one day, then I return here. And you're at peace with this? Tony looks at the city below, people moving through streets, markets opening, children playing, life continuing. I'm at peace with this. Months pass. Tony and Morgat lead campaigns into Kalid. Millennia is difficult, proud, but she sees reason. Her rot spreads uncontrollably. It poisons her own people. Tony offers her a solution, nanites designed to slow the rot, not cure it, but manage it. She accepts. In exchange, she pledges neutrality. She will not attack the Golden Order, but she will not serve it either. Fair enough. Rykard is worse. He has fed himself to a god-eating serpent. He is insane, irredeemable. Tony fights him. The battle is brutal. The serpent is massive, powerful. It nearly kills Tony twice. But he adapts, uses grace-enhanced weapons, technology that the serpent cannot digest. He kills it, and Rykard with it. The volcano manor falls, another region stabilized. Radahn is the hardest, the Star Scourge general. He holds the stars themselves in place. But the scarlet rot has taken him. He is mindless, feral. Tony fights him, not to kill, to free him. He works with Thea and the sorcerers. They create a spell, a combination of sorcery and nanites. It cleanses the rot from Radahn's mind. Radahn wakes, lucid, for the first time in years. He looks at Tony. You saved me. Why? Because you were a good man once. You deserved a chance to be one again. Radahn kneels, pledges his armies to the Golden Order, not out of submission, out of gratitude. 3 years pass. The major wars end. The lands between stabilize, not perfectly. There are still conflicts, still struggles, but the large-scale destruction stops. Tony works constantly, building, repairing, teaching. He establishes schools, teaches people to blend magic and technology, to think critically, to question doctrine when it causes harm. He sits on the council, argues for mercy, for reform. He uses his veto twice, once to stop an execution of rebels, once to prevent the destruction of a village accused of heresy. The Golden Order changes, slowly, not enough, but better than before. Rena becomes his closest ally. Together they push for compassion, for justice, instead of just order. Morgat remains his friend, the cursed king who defends a system that rejects him. They drink together, argue philosophy, find common ground. Yura leads the Bridge Knights. They become legends, warriors who fight with honor, who protect the weak, who serve justice instead of power. Tony visits Earth once per year. Each time it is harder. Pepper has moved on. She meets someone, gets married, has a child. Tony attends the wedding, stands in the back, smiles, cries later in private. The Avengers treat him like a stranger. They do not understand where he goes, what he does. He is no longer their Tony Stark. He is something else. After the 5th year, he stops explaining, just visits, stays his one day, returns to the lands between. That is his home now. 10 years after his arrival, Tony stands before the Erd tree. The tree has changed, grown stronger. Its light reaches farther. The dimensional walls are stable. The lands between thrive. Not perfectly. There is still poverty, still injustice, still suffering. But there is also hope, growth, progress. Tony has gray in his hair now, scars on his body. The core in his chest glows steady, blue and gold. He thinks of Melina, of her sacrifice, of her final words. Fix the breach, save this world. He has, as much as one man can. Rena approaches. She removes her mask. She is older too, but still beautiful. The council wishes to honor you. 10 years of service, 10 years of peace. I don't need honor. Then accept gratitude from the people you saved. She leads him to the courtyard. Thousands gather, citizens of Lendal, soldiers from Limgrave, sorcerers from Liurnia, tarnished from across the lands between. They cheer. Tony stands before them, uncomfortable. He never wanted adoration. But he accepts their gratitude, because they have earned the right to give it. That night he sits with Yora and Morgott and Thea and Aldrich, his friends, his family. "Do you regret it?" Yora asks, the same question from years ago. Tony looks at each of them, at the life he has built, the world he has helped save. "No, I don't regret it. I chose service. I chose to help, and I would choose it again." Morgott raises his cup to the bridge knight, the outsider who became one of us. They drink. Tony looks at the stars. Somewhere out there, Earth spins. Pepper lives her life. The Avengers protect their world. He misses them. Always will. But he belongs here now. In the lands between, where grace and technology merged, where a man from another world chose to stay, to serve, to help, because someone had to. And Tony Stark was always someone who could not walk away. The core in his chest glows, blue and gold. Arc reactor, an Elden Ring, two worlds bound in one light, a bridge, forever. Codex note, the Bridge Knight's mandate established a new precedent in the Golden Order, that service born of choice, not compulsion, creates the strongest foundation for lasting peace.